Live from Harbor Station, it's the Vector Spaceman Show. Now, here's your host, Vector Spaceman.
Oh, fantastic. Hello, Space Cadets. It's your old pal, Vector Spaceman. We're back at it again, man. We're coming to you live once more, straight from Harbor Station, and broadcasting on all frequencies to our beautiful planet Earth. Howdy, howdy, how do you do? Good to see you, Ghost. We like a little action in the chat before we get started in the evening. Tonight is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. 2 streams in the same week. Must be some special occasion. Or maybe it's just Spaceman with not really much else to do. That could be it as well, if you think about it. It's the Vector Spaceman Show, and it's me, the Vector Spaceman, your host, the one and only, except no substitutes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Now, not to suggest that we don't love streaming all day, every day anyway, but we've got a very good reason to be pumped for tonight's show. We've just gotten another unannounced update to No Man's Sky. It's the Breach Expedition. A whole new set of challenges to achieve, and a whole new slew of rewards to earn, on top of updates to the existing system of Corvette construction that dropped with last month's big expansion. It really hasn't been that long, has it? Stick around to see Spaceman do his best to survive amidst a harsh and uncaring universe, and maybe even build some cool spaceships. We'll probably do that too. Now, if you missed the last show, we got to chit-chat with the Space Cadets during our return to form, as it were. The premature end of the October hiatus. We talked conventions, we talked IRL meetups, we talked theme park trivia, and more. Big shout out, of course, to Lunana for the exceptional art of Spaceman as a Colombian ground squirrel. Easily the highlight of the night. All this and more, very goob art. But you know what? If you want to stay up to date with all of our broadcasts so that you never ever miss a show, then here's what you gotta do. You gotta be sure to follow Vector Spaceman on YouTube, on Blue Sky, and of course, right here on Twitch. Use guys. It's the No Man's Sky Breach update. It's really just been like a little over a month since the last update and expedition. What came out? We've learned a lot since then. It's been ages. Oh, it's been ages. We've just been itching for another update. Like I feel like as a shipbuilding community, we've sort of figured out Corvette stuff over the past month or so. It's rare that you see people breaking new ground at this point. But we got new parts now. We got new thrusters. We got new paneling. We got new wedges. We got all sorts of stuff to play around with. How have I been? Oh yeah, since I last saw you, Eon. Geez, it's been a whole minute, hasn't it? We're doing good tonight. We were excited to get into this thing tonight. I've been reading up on some issues that other people are having with the expedition, because that's what you want to be prepared for. Try to avoid any glitches if you can. Try not to get spoiled. Try not to, cheat yourself out of a fun experience, but also try not to get your own save file, soft locked out of completing the thing. And that is what we are going to be doing tonight. We're going to be jumping headfirst into the new Expedition, which just dropped today. You gotta love No Man's Sky, man. Easily, and I mean easily, the greatest value proposition in gaming today. For what? I mean, shoot, it's a brand new update, so did they put it on sale again? They did put it on sale again. No Man's Sky, 60% off. 60% off. You'd have to be silly. You'd have to be fun in the head not to pick up this stellar title. There's really no two ways about it. It gets me really excited for what Light No Fire is going to be like. Because nobody would, you know, blame you for not picking up No Man's Sky when it released, given its, you know, torrid history at this point. But I'm going to be very proud and very happy to be there day one when Light No Fire comes out. You can believe that. From the ground up. Still playing some Skyrim. You know what? I have still never played more than like 30 minutes of Skyrim. Because when I played Skyrim, it was playing on the Xbox 360 version because one of my Vector Space siblings had bought it for the 360, so I was playing their copy. And I just remembered it was slow and sluggish and not great, and I don't think it was really designed for consoles. You know, it's really more of a PC experience. But years later when I went back to look at it and I was like, oh, maybe I should play it on the PC, that sort of thing. I could not find a copy that wasn't like the super deluxe full extended edition or whatever. I just wanted the base game, but they wanted to throw all this extra junk at me, vampires and what have you, and it's like, I'm just looking for that OG experience. Didn't mind the scuff at launch, but you did get it. See, Ghost's a real one. Ghost is a veteran. For me, No Man's Sky didn't really click. Like, it didn't really sink its teeth into me until this latest Corvette update. At which point it was like, okay, now there's something to work toward. Now there's something to get me interested. Now that I can be creative, you know? Now that I can make my mark on the world, as it were. I'll be straight with you. I think the same thing could be said for a lot of games that we play. Unless it's like a multiplayer game where I'm playing with friends, that sort of gives a different sort of experience. But when it's a single player sort of game, I like being able to express myself, you know, whether it's through character customization or like building aspects, that sort of thing. The mantra that I've sort of formulated around it is that if the game doesn't have room for me in its world, then it's not likely that I'm gonna have room for the game in mine, you know? A give and take sort of thing. These days is more modding than actually playing. The Skyrim, I understand that. I've got hundreds of hours in certain games, which is mostly from, like, I'll hit a point where it's like, okay, we understand how the game works, time to start making mods for it. I used to do that with a bunch of titles back in the day. Once the shipbuilding comes in, all hope is lost. Exactly, Rig. And now we're here, and now we're stuck. We're going to be taking a look at some of these new pieces. We're going to be taking a look at the new expedition, within which you can earn limited edition ship parts. So I think the only like expedition gated ship part from the last update was the one cannon piece. The what do you call it? It's like a flat cannon sort of thing. Though I understand they have updated more weapon systems with this new update as well. But with this expedition, there's a lot more that's gated behind the expedition. A lot of very funky looking pieces, which looks like it's tied to like the main story line of No Man's Sky, which we still have not gotten through. The special weapon was, see, I don't know if it was really that cool. It looked cool. Visually, it's a nice little piece. But performatively, I don't know if it's actually that great. As soon as I found out about those phase beams, just the zap, just lasers, green lasers up in your phasers, that's all I need. I can blast my way through asteroids. I can melt shields. Those are my go-to guns right now. Fit well with the ship design. That's another big part of it, though. That's another big part, and it's something that's going to cause, that might cause problems for me now, which is that they changed the weapon model for the Cyclone Ballista or whatever. Used to be the torpedo launcher, but now it's got its own model. So we might have to make some changes to our own ship designs in order to get the weapon types that we actually want. We've gotten pretty good at hiding certain aspects as well, so we'll see what we need to do. We're going to show off existing ships tonight. We're going to maybe make some modifications, and of course we are going to get right into that expedition as well. I haven't done any research on it like I did for the last one, because again, this is day of. We're breaking new ground here. We're forging a trail, as it were. So we're going to be learning as we go. I've just seen one video of a guy on Reddit complaining about getting, like, launched out of the back of his Corvette, trying to do, like, a skydive Chivo or something like that. So we'll see if that's a real problem or what it is. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not gonna corrupt our save or anything like that. And if you're watching this video after the last No Man's Sky one that we did, then you really haven't missed much, because I don't really play the game on my own time, except to like fiddle around with ships and stuff. Time to back up this. Oh, can we back up the save? How do we back up the save? Is there an easy little back up the save button, or do I gotta go into my Steam folder and copy and paste and make a backup? We can figure this out. We're enterprising. We're talented people. No Man's Sky, backup save. Find the files in the system. Okay. We go into our C drive. We go into our users drive. We go into our drive. We go into where we keep the data. There we go. Hello Games. H is for Hello Games. Date modified. We want to pick the one that we modified today, obvi. Copy and make a new folder. Paste, easy peasy. Actually, how big are these files? Wow, our whole No Man's Sky universe is only like 10 megabytes. Let's go. That's procedural generation for you right there. All right, excellent tips from Ghost. Excuse the little dalliance. Safety first, though. Yeah, that's something that I've wondered about doing in the past for expeditions. Is like, do you jump into it right away, or do you like give it a week until other people figure it out? But we want to experience it, you know? So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. All the while, of course, we are going to be chit-chatting with the space cadets. How's everybody else's Wednesday going? It is Wednesday, my dudes. I hope you've been having a good time, having a good week. It's just been like a do-nothing day here at the station. I tell you. I capitulated. I gave in to that dragon that is Restaurant Brands International. Got some cheap BK for dinner. Looking at spaceship parts. It's good, just miss people from the weekend. Post-con stuff is always the worst, isn't it? I feel I get very energized and very motivated whenever I get to spend time with friends and, you know, cohort and what have you. And then it sucks having to come down from that, having to come back to earth, as it were. So what do? Why, we try to replicate the process by streaming, obviously. We just delude ourselves into thinking it's the same as a get-together. That it's a substitute for human interaction. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing unhealthy about that, no sir. That's just normal online internet behavior. And let's not read too much into it or question it in any way. That's what's good for us. Okay. Don't forget, you guys, so tomorrow night, Thursday, it's gonna be a Jackbox party because it's the release of their pack number 11, and friend of the show, Rashawn Galaxy, is doing a little collab stream, and we're gonna be on it, super duper. So tune in for that, because we're gonna play some games, some video games, we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna do some stuff, make some jokes, have some laughs. Should be grand. Now, let's make sure we got everything set up here. No Man's Sky. Let's head on over to the big screen, you guys. Let me put on my gaming hands here. Also, hope you're doing well too, Rig. Good to see you. Let's head on over to the screen. It's time for some No Man's Sky. I'm gonna show you guys some spaceships that I've been working on. Here we go. Boom. Super duper. Let's launch the game. Now, if we recall, and we do recall, we had an issue of frequent game crashes last time we tried to stream this. All because we kept unfocusing on the game. Which is to say, changing the window focus. Let's hope that doesn't happen again and again and again and again and again. No Man's Sky. Do we have contact? Input source? Can we input source found, please? I can hear it. I can't see it. Oh, here we go. Bam, there we are. All right, I think we got it figured out. Rig says, been stuck in the Unity mines all week for work deadlines, working on game lighting. It's ugh. Game lighting and timing, game effects, dying and gasping to be back to Blender. See, I always wonder, like, obviously it's different for every engine you're working in, but like Blender seems like it would not be easy to translate natively into a lot of different engines and what have you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a lot of support for that. But a lot of the effects I see, like the shader effects and grease pencil stuff and animation things, I think about how would you translate that into, you know, if I was trying to port those effects into Godot or something like that. Or Blender's fun, but unless you're porting just assets and start getting funky real, but that's what I figure, yeah. It does not without a lot of custom plugins. See, that's what I'm thinking. But neither do Maya or Max fare much better. Yeah, you must be right. You must be right. You must be right. Guys, you want to see some spaceships? Let's take a look at some spaceships. Check this out. All right, we're going to load up the main save. So, there's been some minor changes to the Vector Space van since we last saw it. It's gotten a little bigger. It's gotten a little grander. But it's still keeping its spacey shape. Let me show you. Let me show you the Vector Space van. So, we have our nice blocky industrial spaceship looking so grand. We've still got the, like, the shell-like forward-facing wings, almost. We've added a little exhaust fins, sort of clipping into them ever so slightly to make it look like it's all one piece. I like that. I like that a lot. We've added a little swoopage on the sides of the main bridge, which is great, which is grand. And we've done a lot of work creating a custom, how would you say, thruster setup here, making it look nice and fancy. Slamming pieces where they're not supposed to go, hiding reactor pieces underneath, and making a nice little silhouette. The Vector Space Van. It is a nice medium-size hauler sort of thing. Most you can do is make markers for particle. I remember doing that. The Space Van's gotten a little beefier, so yeah, it used to be basically this section here. The clamshells were a little closer, and instead of these thicker thrusters on the back, we were using like the sublight thrusters. So they've scaled up a little bit. It's still not huge. It's still not enormous. I'll show you enormous in a moment, but this is where we're sitting at with the Space Van right now. We've tried to do a little interior decorating as well. Check this out. Let's go for a little tour inside the Space Van. So we enter in and we've got a little ready room here. Now we can use like base pieces as well, which is great. So we got a little first aid kit on the wall. We got our mission terminal here. That's grand. Stepping through, we've got a couple of storage spaces. Little walkway here leading up to the bridge. To our right, we've got a little workshop area. We've got a dedicated refiner. We've got our multi-tools. We've got a little item producer there. That's grand. This side of the ship, we haven't really determined what's going to be going on in this side over here, but again, we've got space to play around with. We've got an observation room right here. So this is at the front of the ship. We got one little window, little rest and leisure area. You know, we got a kitchen area here. Got to decorate this side. But again, plenty of options. And then up to the bridge. This space is kind of naked, but we can fill it in with stuff once we get around to it. And then, of course, the bridge itself. Let's take it out and see how it handles. So because the different thrusters all have different like maneuverability, bonuses and what have you, we've made sure to put our supercharged technology slot under our pulse engines and link them up to our heavy thrusters. And it gives us pretty good maneuverability. Like that's way off the charts compared to everything else that we've got rated here. So we're still considered a C-class starship, but all things considered, we do pretty well. We can maneuver through asteroid fields. Ah! No problem. We have absolutely no shielding. But apart from that, we're pretty good. Pulse cannons. Okay, so this is where what was the cyclonatron ballistas or whatever have now become rocket launchers. So we're probably gonna have to change that. Those can bust rocks pretty easy. And then, of course, my favorites. Oh, geez, something's warping in here. But we got my favorites, the phase beams. They just melt rocks. Go on a little mining trip, easy peasy. All right, let's park it like it's hot, because we're gonna have to make some changes here. Luxury parts are at a certain point. Compensation C-class is good. See, we don't mind being a C-class spaceman. And that's the Space Van. It handles great. It's got adequate storage. It's got room for just about everything we'd need. So let's make some minor alterations. So we've got our quote-unquote rocket launchers hidden on the side here underneath some decorative fuel tanks. So we're gonna have to take those out. Ah, shoot. And we're gonna want to replace those with cyclonetron defense cannons, but of course we don't actually have those because they're new items. That's a very good part, Spaceman. A very good point, Spaceman. Let's take a look at some of the other new parts here, actually, while we got the chance. So we've got this really cool heavy booster, which it won't even let us play around with right now. Won't even let us preview it. A lot of pieces that make for good scratch-built thrusters when you're like putting pieces together. Like these pre-made ones are cool and all, but sometimes you just need something that you can slap on the end of a hull piece to tie the whole ship together. New defense shield. I like how this one looks like it's squat compared to some of the other ones. We've got no defense shield on the Spaceman right now, so maybe we will update that at some point. But we're gonna have to get ourselves some defense cannons. Some cyclotron defense cannons. So we'll probably make some trades for those. We've got a new hydraulic leg piece. It looks like the standard landing gear still isn't working as intended. It always stays in the deployed position, which is a shame because that's kind of why I avoid using it. It always stays down when you would expect it would retract when you're actually in the air. We have got these wedge pieces right here, which I'm very excited about. These make some great shapes. And for whatever reason, I looked into it, this whole class of parts right here, these, they call them structural supports, but they really are more decorative structure. Everything from the ballast tank down to the high energy ducting, you still can't get them. You can only get them in creative mode. Which is a shame, because I would really like to use some of these. Like the fuel cell, I think looks great. I would love to throw that. The ballast tank also looks awesome. Anytime we're trying to build something, you know, nice and big and industrial looking, these would be excellent pieces to have. But I just can't get them in my good save. I'm especially excited about this here, the oversized canister link. This is a very nice decorative piece. I'm thinking we might slap one of these on the underbelly of the Vector Spaceman. And then I think that's all the new pieces that aren't gated behind the expedition. So let's see if we can't... We'll save right here. I think we've got enough leftover pieces from all of our farming days. Yeah, we've got pieces upon pieces here that we should just be able to trade for some of this new stuff that we want. So let's get ourselves a couple of cannons. And let's get ourselves one of those fancy underbelly looking pieces. Let's start with that one. Where is it here? There it is, oversized canister link. I would love to have an oversized canister link, s'il vous plaît. Would you trade me a radar dome? 3%. Nope, all right. Would you trade for a deflector shield? Sometimes you just get a lot of stuff. Ooh, good chance. Nice. All right, we made a trade. Let's find a couple of those cannons. Cyclotron defense cannons. How about A phase beam array. I've got almost 24 phase beam arrays. Nope. Alright. How about a cargo box? Still can't use cargo boxes either. Alright, how about a Titan class cockpit? Nice, okay. Another one, please. Would you take the same deal? How about an Azimuth class reactor? Nope. Alright, let's go for that cockpit again. See if you'll make the same trade. Nice, okay, we got everything we need. So let's install these new cannons. So I want to hide them right where I hid the last ones. And that's still a pretty good job staying hidden. You don't really notice it at all. That's why we put it right there, because you don't have to worry about seeing it. All right, let's just color it up properly, make it look nice and industrial. Hide another one on the other side. Super duper. We love a little symmetry. And let's put one of those canisters on the underside. Yeah, just like that. And can we recolor that? Make it red like our other fuel tanks. That's looking pretty good. Couple of hot dogs under there. Not bad. I really like these little radiators as well. I've been including these on the underside of a lot of builds. And of course, our phase beam arrays on either side of the clamshells. It's looking good. All right, let's take this out for a quick spin. See how she handle, see how she look. Up to the bridge. And Hashin. And let's set ourselves up for a little photo. That is a mighty fine looking spaceship, Spaceman. You're absolutely right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Getting updated. Vector space van shot right there. Take a little screen shot. Speaking of vehicle stuff, I finally got my N vector. Which one was the N? The N's not your motorcycle license, is it? What's the N? What else could it be? Hold on, don't tell me. Let me guess, let me guess. It's for N. N stands for... Oh, is it a VC thing? Is it like a super duper version of the M or something? Or like a learner's version of the M? Or what? I actually don't know. If it's a BC thing, then I'm not going to know what it is. I want to be on your team here, Rig. I just got no idea what it is. Alright, photon cannons, check. Alright, we got our ballistas back. Perfect. Phase beam. Perfect. Alright, everything's working as intended. We can park this baby like it's hot. Novice, okay, N for novice. So you can drive solo, but with restrictions until you get tested. Drive solo. Like just drive what though? Novice what? Novice driver in general? Or novice motorcycle driver? A car? You didn't have a car license? You were like working on fixing up old cars, I remember you were talking about. Your fancy old wood paneled one. You didn't even have a license? I guess you don't need a license to work on a car. You just need a license to drive it off the lot. Alright, let's store our hull from blowing up rocks. Now, I want to show you guys the other one I've been working on. So this is the Vector Space Van. We all know the Vector Space Van. We've also been working on another Corvette. This is what I call the Spaceman 1. And this is very much a dedicated exploration craft. Whereas the other one was built for like hauling stuff around and short range missions, this is very much a long range exploration craft. We got big old thrusters and we got big old wings. There's some elements that stay the same, like I really like these particular fins on the side of the Titan cockpit module. And we like a little front-facing observation area. Sure do, sure do. We got more wings going on here. Still make use of some decorative fuel canisters. This is probably the best looking Corvette I've built. Thing is, I just don't have a whole lot of use for it. The Space Van is kind of the perfect ship. I really like this one as well. Like, it looks great, looks rad, looks awesome. Undermounted phase beams again. I guess we are going to have to make modifications to this as well, because just like the other one, we have got hidden little torpedo launchers, which should at this point be cyclotron ballistas. This one's just a little more spacious though, but it's got pretty much all the same factors as the other one. We got a storage deck here. Moving upstairs, we've got a sort of a crew area that hasn't been outfitted yet. Two little areas where we'd install things. Step up to the bridge. The observation deck is of course a little more spacious. Don't love how the phase beam arrays are kind of clipping through the walls here. That's sort of an unavoidable artifact of the walls, the window walls, like pushing out a bit past their usual dimensions. And then up to the bridge, which is the same as the other one. This ship, however, not nearly as maneuverable as the other one, but the hyperdrive range is much bigger, because that's what we've supercharged. And we've got 3 Zenith-class reactors working in tandem to get us big jump range. So more like an exploration ship, if you will. Would love to use it at some point, but right now don't really have a use for it. Though, by golly, I do love the way that it looks. Took a bit longer to actually get the license thing. A lot of setbacks along the way. Why? Are you... Rig, are you driving? You can tell us. You can tell us. It's a safe place. Looks like a nerd like you. Saul! What are you gonna do? Jumping into chat, being belligerent, being confrontational, being aggressive on a Wednesday, my dude. Happy Wednesday, Soul. Hope you're well. Wow, right? Wow. Wow. It is Wednesday. Never let it be said that Vector Spaceman can't tell days of the week. So if there's one thing that's messing me up... Oh, see? Now look what happened. Now look what happened. If there's one thing that messes me up, it's like aligning tech pieces and what have you, so that you get adjacency bonuses out of everything. Okay, I think that's good. After buying the car, I got laid off a few times, had to park the car, and those ambitions to live off saving. Oh, had to park the car, and you're... Haha, I see what you did there. and those ambitions to live off savings. COVID froze all testing in the area for almost 2 years, jeez. See, that's hard to believe. Like, Canada's not really a country that's built for the immobile. Like, you gotta have wheels, whether it's public transit or your own car or something like that. Like, and it's silly because we've got, like, we have to maintain the infrastructure for what is basically like 10 countries. It's rough with a population of like one big state. Soul saying, I was told to work on a generator when I got to work. They said, just needs oil, so I put oil and fuel, ran it up. White smoke came out the exhaust. Nice. What's white smoke mean? Because I've been told that's bad. Stung your eyes? That's why you gotta wear goggles. That's why you gotta wear a helmet. That's why you gotta be prepared. That's bad. It's bad? Or how bad, though? Because one time, I had smoke come out the exhaust of my Vector space buggy, and I thought it looked a little lightish, and I wasn't sure what that meant. And then my check engine light came on, and I took it in to get serviced, but it wasn't something that was that bad. I want to know if I should be expecting my whole rig to explode here. Oil getting past the rings, huh? And I failed my first test, so that's another 7 to 9 month gap. No, rig, no! Wait, isn't the first test just like a written one? Isn't it just like a multiple choice? Sort of that. It's entirely possible that that there's different standards in BC than there is in Ontario, and that ours is just incredibly lax. We'll just let anybody drive over here. We'll just let anybody behind the wheel. Filled to 80, don't like risk going past full. Man, I don't know the first thing about servicing one's own vehicle. Didn't take any auto shop in like high school or nothing like that. And now I'm paying for it. Now I'm literally paying for it by having to get my fancy car serviced. BC's rough. You get a written for an L, which you have to have for 1 year before a road test. Okay, and that's how you get your N, presumably. And then once you pass that, you get your full license. One presumes. See, ours is straightforward. You take your G1, your G2, and then you get your full G. G for general driver, general license. After 2 years. Oh. I'm pretty sure us is just 1 year, bam, bip, bam, boom, done. And in fact, I think it can be even less than a year if you take like an accredited driver's education course. Though it's been a minute since I had to do mine, so I can't rightly remember. I'll say something perhaps a little contentious, perhaps a little a hot take, if you will. I think we should probably be stricter on older drivers. Once you get up to being like the age where maybe you're starting to your senses and what have you are getting a little impaired, you should probably have to be tested more often than we do right now. Not me, Soul, not me. I'm talking about old people, all right? I'm talking about old people. OLDGE, old people. Drops to 18 months to qualify. Okay, so same sort of thing we got here then. During COVID, I tried renewing my license because I wanted to take off the minor restriction, but they said, nope, it can be treated as a license and not a permit now, just because they didn't want to give me a new... Hey, score, okay. The system fails again, but it's working for you. Way to go. Once a year after a certain age. See, that's probably wise. I don't think it's that frequent for us. After 60, you should need a reevaluation every 5 years. Every 5 years is kind of like, that's still, you know, get them in there at least every 2 years, if not every 1 year, like Soul's thinking. All right, we are outfitted with a fancy vehicle. We got a whole lot of junk in our inventory, so we'll probably have to ditch that before we go on a ride. I still got my same multi-tool from the last expedition because I thought it looked like a nail gun, and I was like, oh sick, I'm taking that with me. But of course now it's full of junk. Let's see, before we jump into expedition, I should probably make some ammo. Except I don't got no dust. Okay, but I know how to make ammo, so I'm just gonna have to blast some rocks once we get in there. I know I'm allowed to take a certain number of elements in with me, so maybe we hold on to... What do we want to take with us? We'll take life support gel and batteries, and we'll take... I don't know if am I gonna need uranium? We'll take copper with us, because we always need copper for something or another. We'll take oxygen. We'll take salt. We'll take uranium. We'll take sodium nitrate. We'll take some pure ferrite. Who knows what we're gonna need. Some dihydrogen just for funsies. Wow. Oh, Soul, you got the first. Way to go. Every 2 years after 8. Yeah, that's way too late. First of all, big claps if you even get to be 80. I'm missing. I got no carbon. Why have I got no carbon? Because I've got condensed carbon. Spaceman. Yeah, big claps if you even get to be 80. At that point, you should probably be taking the bus. Well, let's drop some junk in our storage. I may. Oh, just shut. This is a harassment, is what this is. Calculated space harassment. All right, let's dump everything that we're not taking on the expedition with us. Should be good. All right, let's go for a ride. So, of course, in order to start the expedition, we gotta go to the anomaly. This whippersnapper, this egg, this guy, this youth. We summon the Death Star. Another thing that I like about flying around the Space Van is that it's still a nice compact size where it almost still feels like a standard ship. Like trying to fly the Spaceman 1 through the anomaly always looks like it's clipping through stuff. Don't worry, Vector, we don't have to take what Soul says seriously. His brain isn't even done forming yet. Yeah, Soul! Try having a properly formed brain, idiot. And then wear a helmet. Keep your brain safe. Do your best. Actually, when my coworkers found out I was 26, these guys were like, what? You're lying. What ritual did you commit? You're saying that you've got the look of a youth? You got that super smooth skin. You got that youthful glow. You're just rubbing it in our faces now. Jeez. Alright, we got gear. Rig thinks he still looks 25. Okay. You heard it first. You heard it from Rig, you guys. Rig thinks he looks 25. So after the last expedition, we've still got access to all this junk that we haven't even claimed yet. But this is the stuff we're working towards getting this time. Look. Pieces that definitely have like a sinister sort of appearance to them, which my understanding is like inspired by the Atlas, which is something to do with the main story quest of No Man's Sky, so I kind of feel like I'm getting a little spoiled. But whatevs. There's just a few other things to pick up as well. Some posters. Some starship trails. And we're gonna do the expedition just because it's nice to have more options. And they're fun to do. They're a nice little challenge. Hairline's intact, that's all you need. As long as you got the hair, as long as you got those flowing locks, just like Spaceman, that's all you need. Because I joked around and wrote an X on one of their hands saying, here you go, minor, and he said, yeah, I am. Niece's age. Don't have a hair. Hey, listen, man, you don't know. The helmets never come off. You don't know. You don't know, man. Don't believe the hype. But at the same time, don't believe any of the VTubers that have actually met me. What do they know? Bet it's like Adventure Time under there, like when he takes the little hat off. Long, blonde, flowing locks. We will neither confirm nor deny. Vegeta! First of all, put some respect on his name. That's Prince Vegeta right there. Just the sharpest, grisliest widow's peak you've ever seen. And then Super Spiky, you know, because of the static. Obvi. McDonald's, yeah, the golden arches. Alright, we are going to start an expedition. We're going to go on a journey. We get to select equipment to take with us. Oh, sorry, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can take 24 pieces of cargo. We could have taken a whole lot more. And technology? Do I have access to my storage? No. We'll take gear from the ship, though. Absolutely. Just take a bunch of chemicals that we may or may not need. Saves us having to hunt around for it. Ugh. Did that save? It did, okay. Actually, let's go grab some stuff from the ship because I swear eventually I'm probably gonna need cobalt or some of those other... So what is this guy doing? Mucking around on the Vector space van. He's just taking a tour. Let's take cobalt, let's take... You never know when you're gonna need some wiring looms. Or some tritium. Or I can't imagine we're gonna need star silk. Never know when you're gonna need some frost crystals, though. Or maybe some, we'll take some silver. Yeah, silver and gold. Dihydrogen jelly. Some straight up sodium. Sodium. And some condensed carbon. Who doesn't need some condensed carbium? Carbidium. And an already ready-made portable refiner. Why not? That should be enough gear. We don't need to take any tech with us. Joined a Discord with, I think, about 1,000 artists from Instagram. Very cool. We love artists. And haven't been active because I haven't made new art or had time to work on any, but it seems like there are some problems occurring in it. What kind of problems? What kind of problemos? Actually get right on the money? I did. Look at that. All right. Full inventory. Let's go. Inappropriate conversations in VC? Well, simply stop talking to weirdo artists, man. That's what I'm talking about. We didn't do a stream yesterday because we were watching Corey Ojo's return to streaming, and she was telling stories about working with this this promotion agency lately and getting into misunderstandings and miscommunications with some of the staff there, and how it sort of led her to take a little hiatus as well. And it's like, how hard is it to simply not be weirdos on the internet? I've always found it pretty straightforward. Most of the people that I hang around with, they don't seem to have a problem with it. It's hard to think of anybody who I know that can't, when they apply themselves, not be a weirdo on the internet. But I think Rig might be onto something right there, which is that you've got too many people. Thousands of artists. Yeah, you gotta curate your social groups a little bit. Just like sharing my art, barely have any conversations in it. Well, there's a very human aspect to that as well, which is the desire to post things that you've made and then get that little dopamine rush when people, you know, comment with emojis or write little good jobs and what have you. I can understand that. Okay, you guys, looks like we are ready to start our expedition. We'll start a new journey and place us on an unknown world. Reach the space anomaly to retrieve stored equipment. Okay, so we gotta hit the anomaly before we can get our gear back. Let's begin. There's a bit of weirdo artists, so they should be more picky on who joins it. They should be. Maybe another hot Spaceman take? But I believe, Spaceman believes, that we should be, you know, that we should be more gatekeepy when it comes to the people that we interact with on the regular. We should be more discerning, if you will. Looks like we're on a toxic world of some sort.
Shield kinetic system online.
Well, you might think bigger is better, Soul, but social media is not really something that scales well.
Aerial propulsion jetpack.
It's that old adage that you can really only, like, maintain relations with, like, 150-ish people max.
User initialization sequence complete.
Okay. This is us, the Vector Spaceman. On a wild and breathtaking new world. Me taking screenshots. Come on, look the other way. Look the other way. Don't look at the camera. There you go. There we go. Gonna have to make thumbnails later. Smaller Discord, smaller streams, smaller stores, smaller games, smaller cars. Smaller ambitions. Smaller spaceman. Smaller people even. And then someday we'll finally have the wherewithal. Humanity will get down to being like squirrel-sized. And then we'll have so much more room for activities. Alright, join the community as we sail through the stars. Alright, we have got Chivos. We gotta locate a starship. So, last time... part of the challenge was that we didn't get a starship off the bat. We had to build one of our own. Since this is not a typical... This is more of a typical expedition in that we have to actually find our ship. Now, the first thing we've been recommended to do is turn off multiplayer. Because apparently, this expedition has got problems with griefers already. Once chat breaks 3 digits, I'm out. Nothing wrong with that. That's wise. That's what's up. It's always a pain that smaller cars are so good, but you like station wagons. You just want to fit more friends in the car. More stuff. And listen, we've got room in our spacey heart for big cars, big trucks, big vans, if you will. But ever since we got the space buggy, it's been hard to go back. We're so maneuverable now. More friends. Oh, and LARP weapons. That makes sense too. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of LARP events or camping events or stuff like that, so that's on me. An old hippie van? No. I would have like, what the F? Oh, that was a tag feature, my bad. Let's scan some plants and rocks and stuff. No, I like a panel van, you know? Just like some delivery vehicle. Absolutely. Alright, let's get some dust, because we're going to need some ferrite dust. Got to drive a 1990s 2-door RAV4. Shoot! Trying to think what the oldest RAV4... No, I never drove one of those. A 90s? No, I never drove one of those. Might have ridden in one. 2-door? No, I never would have even been in one of those. To help my roommate take it to the shop, and it's like a go-kart? I believe it. I don't even think I've seen a 2-door RAV4. Grab some oxygen. So we've got no problem with the environment on this planet right off rip, so that's good. Just grab some resources before we get into it. Corollas are decent cars. No complaints there. Basically a knockoff Geo. A knockoff Geo. Ow. Getting snapped at by plants. What the F? It was alive. It was alive the whole time. That's actually very cool. Alright, let's recharge our mining beam. S'il vous plaît.
Technology recharge.
Grab some dihydrogen real quick. Never know when you're gonna need some of that. Oh, unidentified mineral.
Received.
The Space Fam has been driving RAV for us for like as long as I can remember, though. Like just a reliable car, you know? But then every car decided it wanted to be like the RAV4, or every like mid-size SUV, you know? You watch all the Tron movies, even the new one with Jared Leto? I'm pretty determined at this point that I gotta go see that new Frankenstein movie in the theaters. Because everybody says it bangs. But I'll probably wait on Tron. I'll probably still watch it, but I ain't going to the theater to see it.
Technology recharge.
Gotta spend carbon to get carbon. Alright, there's our ship over there. Let's go pick it up. We've got some resources to play around with now. Ooh, it's not the classic red one. We have reached our starship. Alright, what are they gonna give us? Oh, you got tickets for the Frankenstein rig? Nice. See, I was so distraught. I thought they weren't showing it in the cinemas near me because it was supposed to come out on the 17th, but for whatever reason, it like was delayed a week for Canadian theaters everywhere that I've seen. I said this on the stream like last month. I almost went to a TIFF showing, a Toronto International Film Festival showing of Frankenstein, but I like didn't commit to it till like very late, so by the time I wanted to go see it, like all you could get were like scalper price tickets, and it's like I'm not gonna spend hundreds of dollars to see this film, please and thank you. We'll wait until it comes out for general audiences. Oh, for the VIP. Okay, there you go. Yeah, as long as you get them early, then it's not egregious. I wasn't gonna spend like $400 on movie tickets. No, thank you. Alright, we gotta fix launch thrusters. We're gonna collect some rewards. We got launch fuel and we got a personal refiner. Banger. We could have gone together and shared pop. Yeah, exactly. I could have just hopped on a plane. Cineplex and Landmark won't show it because it's a Netflix? The Landmark, I'm not gonna dox myself here. You might have a point on the Cineplex, because I'm pretty sure I haven't found a showing at a Cineplex. You might be right about that. Either way, I'm very happy for you. I hope you enjoy the film. I gotta find somebody I can convince to go with me. Launch into space. What else do we have to do here? Warp to a new system. Reach first rendezvous point. Acquire a debris rangefinder. Where do we get a debris rangefinder? From warping to reaching the first rendezvous. Okay. Assemble a Corvette class starship. So we do have to build a Corvette. Search the wreckage of a lost Corvette. That's right, so we now have space-bound Corvettes that we can salvage and, like, strip mine. Awesome. Prepackaged Atlantid drive units. Is that what takes us to special star systems? What the heck is that? Maybe that unlocks after we reach the second rendezvous? Because it's all gibberish, garblish jargon right now? Well, it should be crowded. It's supposed to be a really good movie. But I feel like that's a film that could be the last film I ever see in a theater. What with how theaters are doing these days. And I'd rather it be something like that than the last movie that I saw in a theater, which was the Wolverine and Deadpool. Which, mind you, was still better than the movie I had seen before that. Which was the last Star Wars film. Alright, I got a prepackaged personal refiner unit. Are you sure about that? So I think they gave me a oh, there it is. Okay. A personal refiner. That's cool. And it's supercharged. I don't think I need it to be supercharged. I think I would like my jetpack to be supercharged. Yes. And my life support to be supercharged. Yes. How do I charge the personal refiner? Unit requires fuel. Okay, can we just pop carbon in there then? We sure can. It sure didn't do anything. How about oxygen? No. How about dihydrogen? No. How about dust? No? Nothing? Nothing? Got nothing? Okay. Terrifier 3? Is that the one with, like, it looks like a cross between, like, a clown and a nun? Or something like that? It's got a fella with a very, very sharp nose and, like, white face paint. It's a clown? Okay, see, I didn't know what was going on there. Look at us learning things. Alright, we need a hermetic seal, and we need some metal plating. What do I need to make a hermetic seal? I need condensed carbon. I think I need a lot more carbon. That's oxygen. Carbon. Scan it before you destroy it, Spaceman. Get them units. Unidentified plant. Oh, it's supposed to be like humorous? See, I can never tell with horror movies just by looking at them. There it is. There's the unidentified. I saw a post about somebody complaining on, like, the No Man's Sky Discord about how he had run into somebody who had discovered and uploaded, like, a mineral, but he had named it unidentified mineral. So even when you found it, it still came up saying unidentified mineral. And so dude was trying to figure out why it kept tricking him. Yes, classic japes. Oh, advanced mining laser needed. This isn't just your average everyday mineral. This is advanced minerals. Gosh darn it. Keep having to spend carbon to recharge my mining beam when I need carbon to fund all of my other endeavors. What about these big plants? Are they carbon? Thank goodness. I need big, heavy payouts. Let's go. Pop it like it's hot. Give me that flood of carbon. Yes, buddy. Good old-fashioned shenanigans. You're absolutely right, Rig. We approve. Ooh, and some cobalt. Don't mind if I do. Cobalt and tritium. What a score. What a find. Another great find. Let you know when I actually go to TwitchCon. Are you anywhere near a TwitchCon right now? We were talking about that on the last stream. So this year's TwitchCon was at, it was San Diego again, I believe. My understanding, Soul, was that you were stationed in the middle of nowhere, keeping America safe. Meanwhile, I am stuck up in the northern frigid wasteland that is southern Ontario, Canada. And here's the thing, it's just that there's not a whole lot of draw to go to a TwitchCon. Because I'd probably just spend most of the time hanging out outside of the convention center with, you know, my fellow independent self-produced VTubers. Did we drop? Hold on. Why is this not... Oh, okay. Just wasn't registering. You'll traveler? Travail? So you should just come up north. Come to a nice Canadian convention. That's what I've been telling the Nova Swarm to do all the time. See, everybody should just come to Toronto. It's full of cool people. Like me. Other than mutuals, there's nothing but the sweaty, weird, and awkward at a TwitchCon. Yeah, no reason. Horror stories. You want to get accosted by some stranger that thinks they know you because they watch your stream on the internet? Come to TwitchCon. Alright, tell me I've got enough carbon now to fuel... What the F? Oh, that's where it went. It's just been sitting here. I was gonna say. So that's how it works. Okay, I figured out how it works, guys. I figured out how it works. Electrical disturbance detected. I've never used a personal refiner before. Oh! That's a disturbance! Run, 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 run. It's not chasing me, is it? I can't attack the darkness. I can't shoot an electrical disturbance. One day we'll make it to Anime North. That's the spirit. True, but it would probably be weird to just say, hey, Vector, let me come over and see you. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing. It might be a little weird. Just don't make it weird. Don't make it weird, Soul. Sheesh. Okay, so what did we need for a hermetic seal? We needed condensed carbon. Okay, so let's condense some carbon. Let's take some of our carbon, put it in there. Take some of the carbon, put it in there. Charge equipment with carbon or condensed carbon. I'm trying to put carbon into the fuel inverter. Man, why isn't it working? Refiner offline, no fuel. I'm trying. All right, this is getting ridiculous. There we go. Okay. More carbon here. Okay. How much did we need? I don't know. Let's just run the whole thing. We'll condense all the carbon. What a nightmare that was, trying to figure that out. Alright, I feel like 150 is probably enough. Hermetic seal, sweet. This will allow us to fix the pulse engines. Super duper. Now we've got a starship. Let's hop inside, claim this bad boy for ourselves. Launch your ship and head to the stars. Let's launch it. What a bizarre shaped ship. The Tarometry system. 1 planet, 5 moons. Korvax. We're still pretty pro Korvax on account of we haven't figured out what they've done yet. Alright, we left the planet. And that's going to give us base computer plans and hyperdrive plans. Sweet. Listen, we love asymmetric ship designs. The Space Van and the Spaceman 1 are both symmetrical, but we love asymmetric ship designs. Give me a B-Wing. Give me a YT-2400. Beauty. Alright, hyperdrives. We need some hyperdrives. Means we're gonna have to dig up some copper, most likely. Alright, we're a couple minutes off from having to take an ad break, so... Oh man! This thing handles wild. I kind of forgot what flying a regular old spaceship was like. On account of I've been driving nothing but Corvettes lately. Oh, we're doing a little... We're skirting the atmosphere here. B-52 with the wing shot off. Yeah, just one mangled little clipped wing. Scammers be scamming, man. What can you say? What can you do? Alright, let's dock this bad boy. Ooh. Oh, is this an abandoned space station? There's nobody here. Wow. Alright, we'll investigate this further. We've saved. Let's head on back to the station, because we gotta take an ad break. We're gonna be back. Let's head to the desk. We're gonna be back in a few minutes, okay? Don't go nowhere. The Vector Spaceman show continues right after this. We will be right back. So I think we're not gonna get through all of the expedition content tonight. We're not speed running it like we did the last one. We're experiencing it firsthand here. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. It means we'll have more stuff to do on Friday. Because remember, tomorrow we're going to be doing that Jackbox collab. Tune in. Maybe you can even participate. I'm not sure how the games work. Because it's a brand new pack. Friend of the show, Roshan's picking it up so we can all play. Should be a great time. I actually think it'll be the first time that Rashawn and I have collabed on anything in person. But I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be tomorrow night. Sometime between like 7, 8 p.m. Eastern. Maybe we'll broadcast our perspective, but if not, you can check out Roshan, and we'll do a little shout out for Roshan here. Do our due diligence. Roshan, Galaxy, bada bang, bada bam. Support local independent VTubers. Okay, streamer care. Take some drinks, take some stretches, obligatory stretches, gratuitous stretches, little knuckle cracks on the side. Have myself a little blue, make sure that redeem still works, and it do. Awesome. Check my social medias. Make sure everything's all right. And we're 10 seconds away. Four, 3, 2, 1. Roll call, y'all. Shout out if you're back. We're back. The Vector Spaceman show returns. All right, moment of truth. We're going back to the big screen. We're going to find out if the game's going to crash on us or if we successfully alt-tab. Let's find out. Gaming screen. Woo! Nope, it crashed. Let's go. That's why we save. Oh, enjoy that refreshing blue right there, Rig. Tron Uprising animated. I've heard that's all right. How did you find the new one, though? How did you find the Jared Leto Tron? I know some people who are like, F Jared Leto, man. I ain't even gonna watch it. Listen, I'm gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna go see it in the theaters. I'm gonna do my Canadian duty. Make my ancestors proud. And I am going to watch that bad boy on the high seas. New one's a disappointment? Why show me Sam Flynn but not bring it back? Hey, spoilers, man! We haven't seen it. Don't tell us who is or isn't in it. Check out this abandoned space station, y'all. So we can still do salvaging. And what is up this ramp? Ooh, mystery. warp hypercore. Don't mind if I do. Exosuit upgrade. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, we'll upgrade an inventory slot. Absolutely. What's down here? A locked door. I don't have an Atlas Pass V3. They should be more considerate. Oh, teleporter. Sick. Time to eject Soul from Harbor Station every time. Every time with this guy. I think Jared Leto fought to be the leading role, which made it become the disappointment that it was. I saw a friend of the show, Zenobia, post something, which is like, Jared Leto's got a 3 for 3 streak for destroying franchises. Because there was like Jared Leto as the Joker, right? There was Jared Leto as Morbius. And now we got Jared Leto in a Tron film. An unprecedented record of just screwing franchise properties, right? Like box office poison. Alright, we need a prepackaged Atlantid drive. We'll take that. We'll take that. What's our next Chivo here? We got to reach the first rendezvous point. Got it. From Leto to let go. Ba-dum-psh. And I think there was talk of retiring the Tron franchise. I don't know if they... I don't know what you can do with Tron, really. Tron... Oh, thank you for the collapse. Thank you for the collapse, Soul. Thank you. We'll be here all week. Hey! I don't get no respect. Yeah, I don't really know what you can do with Tron. Like, Tron wasn't all that interesting to begin with. It kind of... Like, the first Tron movie sucks. Like, it just sucks. The only good thing about the Tron... And... Alright, hold on. Hold on. We gotta jump into my craft so I can jump out of my craft so I can save, because I worry that this is gonna freeze on us again. Why can't I just Alt-Tab out of stuff, man? Alright, let's go back to the station. The only good thing about the first Tron movie, and again, this might be another hot take from Spaceman. Let me find an image here. But the best thing about the original Tron... God, there's no good way to find this image. Hold on. How do you even... Maybe I have to turn off safe search. Hold on. There's one particular character in the original Tron. The first one. Damn it, no. Excuse my language. You watched the first one when it premiered in theaters? No, Soul, I did not. I watched it years after the fact, and by years I mean decades after the fact. Because believe it or not, Soul, we're actually closer to your age than we are, you know, to being an octogenarian. Which seems to be the standing hypothesis around here. Alright. It's just... Sorry, he's standing there menacingly. I'm having difficulty finding the image that I'm looking for. Because I can't... I can't put this into a Google search without getting the nastiest results. And I don't have any other way to describe it. Yes! Alright, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Let's go to the desk for a sec. This is the pain of being cultured and low on the brain rot chart. Well, this is the problem. Listen. So this is a character from the original Tron, alright? It's the best part of the original Tron because of this suit. But I don't have the language to describe this character apart from calling him the Tron dick and balls guy. This is like one of the computer characters, right? But if I just Google Tron dick and balls, I don't get what I'm looking for. Understandably, right? So that's why it took me a minute. The Tron, but yeah, anyways, outstanding costuming right here. Ah. And that's the best part of the original Tron, is that guy, is getting to see this guy. He's got a very funny costume. We see him again, so I don't forget to turn off the display capture. Okay, bye guy. Bye gatekeeper. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled expedition. I'm so glad that we got to take that little dalliance. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. We're going back to the gaming screen. We're gonna find out if the game crashed again. The game crashed again. Awesome. That's why we save. That's why we save. Yeah, but anyways, to return to the point that I was trying to make, Soul, I don't really know what you can do with Tron. Like, conceptually, you'd think it'd be like a very cool, almost Digimon-esque, like, real V digital incursion sort of. Like, there's stuff you could do with it, but I've never seen them do anything cool with it. Like, they sort of tiptoed towards something cool with Tron Legacy, but I didn't buy that you could just digitize or de-digitize living things on a whim, you know? Like, that was goofy in the first Tron, and it was goofy in the second Tron. Close to Mega Man X? Yeah. We love a little Mega Man X. Yeah, you jack in Mega Man, yeah. NetNavi stuff, right? That might not have been Mega Man X. I'm not up to date on my Mega Mans, but I know what you're going towards. I know what you're getting at. Rig would know more. I'm pretty sure I saw Nova Swarm playing those games at one point. Alright, we gotta warp to a new system. But in order to do that, We're gonna need a hyperdrive on our ship.
Technology installed.
Which means we're gonna need some microprocessors, and we're gonna need some chromatic metal. Can I buy some microprocessors real quick, please and thanks? Maybe from this station right here? And what's more, can I summon the anomaly? Because that might make things a little easier. Microprocessors for sale. Yes, we can. We can buy microprocessors, but we've got no units. So what can we sell? We've got nothing that's worth nothing. We've got a warp hypercore. I might want to hold on to that, though. Because that seems kind of cool. I can sell a geode.
Units received.
27,000 credits for one microprocessor. Also, what is connection lost, unavailable, data missing? What are all these error messages? Gemline, how you doing? It is going. It's a brand new expedition. It's No Man's Sky Breach. It's our first playthrough. There's new Corvette pieces to discover. There's new challenges to challenge ourselves with. There's new Chivos to unlock. Getting around to balloons before bed. Very cool. Well, that's what Tron Legacy did. Kevin Flynn liked Tron so much he brought him into the grid from his original place. Right, I remember Tron Legacy. Sounds awesome. It's pretty awesome, except we don't get to bring the Vector Spaceman with us, unfortunately. Okay, can't summon the anomaly. That's rough. Okay, so that means we do need to either warp to another system, except of course that we don't have any microprocessors. So we either gotta buy it from the space station or... Wait. Yeah, because we only got one space station per system. Or, alternatively, we pick it up from a planet-side outpost. Now we need to find some chromatic metal, so let's find a planet that's got copper. Sodium, no. That's the space station, so no. There's one on the other side of this big planet. It's in our way. There's something over here. Silver. I don't know if we can turn silver into chromatic metal. That's actually a good question. Let's blow up some rocks and find out. Is that going to give us some silver? Sweet. It's real mining hours here on the Vector Spaceman Show. Fat stack of tritium, some gold. Some gold! Okay, let's see if we can't turn silver. No, we cannot. Unavailable. How about gold? Turn gold into pyrite. Okay. Don't need that. Don't need fool's gold. So, that means we're probably gonna have to find... What about cobalt? We can turn that into ionized cobalt. So that means we are gonna have to find a copper source. Well, that can't be too hard to do. Sodium and rusted metal. No. Let's take a look at the local planets. Sodium, 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 gold, magnetized ferrite, quartzite? Maybe we can use quartzite? I don't know much about quartzite. But we're gonna go find out. It's gonna take us a minute to get there. Put that bad boy on autopilot. We'll look it up on the phone. In the meantime, we'll just look up No Man's Sky. Chromatic metal. We're skimming an atmosphere again. Okay. Copper, cadmium, emeril, and indium. So the answer to that is no. We've also run out of fuel for our pulse engine, which is not rad. Thankfully, we've got tritium up the wazoo. Alright, so that does mean, however, that we gotta find another source of metals. No copper in this entire system. Sheesh. These are other systems that we visited. Maybe what we need to do then is warp to a different system via the space station. Maybe that would help us. Or maybe I'm just going about this all wrong, man. It's entirely possible. We need to leave this system, but we can't leave this system until we build ourselves a hyperdrive, and we can't build our hyperdrive without a buttload of chromatic metal. Geniuses in the chat, am I getting this wrong here? Is there something that I'm not seeing? They plopped us down in a hard-to-survive system. Thankfully, during these expeditions, the teleporters are usually chock full of decent locations. We might have to turn multiplayer back on for that, but we'll see. We'll see. Presently, we're kind of just soloing. I'm also noticing that these abandoned and presumably the pirate stations as well, they haven't updated them yet to be Corvette compatible. Like, you can land Corvettes in them, but then you gotta walk the whole way. Okay, lots of spaces to warp to, other people's bases. So let's see if there's anything on here that looks like it would be useful. Otherwise, I'm just trying to get to a different system. This guy's looking for indium, and we know that indium can be used. As a chromatic metal source, so let's warp here. That's not going to trigger the Chivo, though, is it? Quartzite, no. Quartzite. That's our ship. Quartzite, quartzite. That guy better not be hostile. Quartzite. Sodium. Sodium. My space kingdom. For some copper, man. Oh man, that's another thing I gotta take into consideration now. Oh, wait a minute. Are we still in the same system? We didn't even leave system. That was just some goofus who built a base on the same planet we were on. Son of a gun. Anyways, what I was saying was we gotta pay attention to like takeoff and landing costs now, because I'm so used to just hovering in the Corvettes. Got some launch fuel. We used up all our tritium already. Man. Gonna have to bust some rocks next time I get the chance. Space sounds. Alright, let's try this again. Let's try paying attention this time. To the destination, Spaceman. We're in the what? Taumetry, tarometry system? So we want a different system. Stellar class Y4PF. These are all the same stellar class, which is making me suspect that these might all be in system. Let me try. I don't know if this is gonna make a difference, but if we turn multiplayer back on. Is that gonna give us access to more locations? Expedition 20 start base. I don't know, man. I don't know. Tell me I'm not insane here, Ghost. What do you do in a situation like this? The whole system's got no access to copper. And I need copper in order to get chromatic metal. Or one of these other stellar metals, but the problem is there's none of these here either. And if I don't got chromatic metal, then I don't got my hyperdrive. And if I got no hyperdrive, I can't go to another system to get my Chivo. I can't even build a Corvette at this base. Or at this space station, because it's abandoned. It is quite the pickle. The only other option would be, oh, what's this here? Multi-tool upgrade station. I do not have any expansion slots. Right? It's quite pickling. The only other option seems to be maybe buy chromatic metal from the terminal? But how much does that cost? And is it even available? I also have to run across the whole space station just to look at it. I can't warp to the anomaly. We can buy chromatic metal. We could buy a bunch of it. How much do I need? I need 125 chromatic metal. And if I want to buy 125 chromatic metal, then I'm going to need somewhere in the range of, what, 15,000 credits. I have 8,000 credits, so we gotta sell some junk from our trunk. Maybe we really just do gotta ditch this warp hypercore. It seemed like it was gonna be useful, but I don't know, we got nothing else that we can sell for cheap or for cash. And that would allow us to get the microprocessors we need as well. So for the sake of expediency, bang, bang. Sell everything we don't need right now. And we're gonna buy ourselves some metal chromatique. How much money we got left? 41,000 credits. How many microprocessors do we need? 5. Let's take care of that one first. We need 5 microprocessors. Which means I need 137,000 credits. How am I going to get that? Well, I guess the quickest way that we know how is salvaging stuff. Are there any planets here that we can salvage stuff from? Because we are like 100,000 credits shy of getting microprocessors, and we haven't got the recipe to build microprocessors. Oh, sorry, we do. We just need more chromatic metal. 5 of them, so we need 200 more chromatic metal. And we need some carbon nanotubes, which we can just make with carbon. That's not so bad. Okay. So we still need cash money is the problem. We either need 200 chromatic metal, which I don't even think the trade terminal has stock. Yup, because we already flushed him out earlier. Let's buy as much as we can. We'll just buy up as much as we can, man. It's 40 each, so let's grab 120 of these. We'll build 3 carbon nanotubes, and that's going to give us 1, 2, 3 microprocessors. And that's going to leave us with the need for 2 more microprocessors. At a grand cost of 55,000 credits. So we need in the range of 30,000 credits. What can we sell to get 30,000 credits? All of our cobalt, all of our silver, all of our gold. All of our dihydrogen and all of our pure ferrites.
Units received.
And all of our ferrite dust. Why not?
Received.
Well, we scraped by, but we got it.
Product received.
Now there's some goober standing next to me because I forgot I turned multiplayer back on. Let's turn that off because it really didn't help us out. Get out of here. So now we got 5 microprocessors, which means we can finish upgrading the hyperdrive. There we go. Now, of course, we need a warp cell. And in order to get a warp cell, we need antimatter housing and we need antimatter. In order to get antimatter housing, we need ferrite dust, which we just sold all of. Maybe we can buy some of that back. Sure can. How much of this are we gonna need, though? Let's buy like 100, if we can afford 100 dust.
Product received.
We are really, really scrimping. So we need antimatter and we need antimatter housing. We can make some antimatter. We also need some antimatter made the housing. Now we need the antimatter. Oh, for crying out loud, we need more chromatic metal. All right, we need 25 chromatic metal and then we can get out of this gosh darn awful system. All right. All right. We need 25 chromatic metal. I'm sure we can buy that. Yes. How much does 25 chromatic metal gonna cost me? 3,000 credits. All right, what can we sell that'll get us 3,000 credits? All of our oxygen? All of our carbon. We'll sell all of our carbon because we still got condensed carbon. We're gonna buy some chromatic metal. I'm gonna feel so silly when I ultimately figure out that there was some incredibly straightforward way of getting all this that I just hadn't considered.
Product received.
Now we've got a warp cell. Now we can charge the starship.
Technology recharge.
Hex yeah. Now we can warp to another system. Thank goodness. Let's get out of this. Let's skedaddle. Let's bounce. Let's dip. Let's blow this joint. Worst space station I've ever been in. What should we name our ship? Our expedition ship here. We'll call it... the Soul Train. There we go. After our buddy. Tritium hypercluster, don't mind if I do. That's good fuel. That's pure fuel right there.
Technology recharge.
Alright, let's check the galactic map. That right there is our first waypoint. All the way down here. We're gonna have to make a couple of hops. An Atlantid drive is required though, so we can't get there immediately. But we will get plans for an Atlantid drive as soon as we make that first jump. So here we are, we're out of the Dead Star system. Well, Vector, well, Soul, what's up? Oh my gosh! Right into an asteroid belt. And a brand new Chivo. makes you happy we can end up in the same retirement one of these days. We'll just be losing our minds, playing Halo, complaining that the Xbox controllers don't hook up to our brains, or whatever the problem of the day is. Show me what we got here. We got a nice big system. Oh, look at all these resources. Every planet's got copper. Wow. Let's find a nice place to land. Let's take a look at our expeditionary objectives. Okay, we're gonna pick up our Atlantid drive, which allows us to get into certain star systems. We gotta reach that first rendezvous point. It's gonna give us some inventory slots. See, this is why I love doing expeditions on the main save. We can bring some of these back and upgrade our inventory, our ship inventory, upgrade our exosuit. It's all good. Alright, so really, all we gotta do now is reach that first rendezvous point. I wonder if I could take the Atlantid drive with me, because I don't have one of those in my main save either. Side loads a resonant memory packet into your warp computer, allowing the ship to pass through the dissonant space surrounding purple stellar bodies. Pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool, Kieran. Thank you for that. You know, we give it up for Kieran. We give it up for Kieran here on the show. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing, my froggy friend? It's real space hours, absolutely. Yep. New ship parts, new expedition. We're doing the new expedition right now. We're not going to get through everything today because we're not speed running it, because this is our first time doing it. We just spent like an hour trying to get out of a dead star system with no resources. We finally managed to scrimp and scrap and make our way through it, make enough cash that we could buy the parts that we needed to get out of that star system. And now we're on our way to the first rendezvous point. We'll see if we can't get through the first wave of Chivos. Problem is, our hyperdrive has no fuel right now. Well, that's something that we can remedy then. Got to go finish up work. See ya, old space. Why you gotta hurt me like this, Soul, every time. But that's fine. Go, keep America safe. Do your best, do your duty. Stay well, stay safe. We'll see you again real soon, Soul. Take care. Remember, it's tomorrow, Jackbox night. Gonna be doing that with some friends of the show. Should be fun. Tune in if you got a moment, because I'm sure it'll be a gas and a laugh and a hoot. A hoot and a holler even. Alright, hyperdrive needs warp cell or warp hypercore. Well, I guess we're gonna have to make a warp cell. But in order to do that, we're gonna need more chromatic metal. Don't have enough to make another antimatter housing. I need more ferrite dust. Alright, let's touch down somewhere that's got copper then, because that's going to be our go-to way to do it. That's a fine looking rocky planet. A paradise planet? Viva No Man's Sky, France? Ugh. Alright, guess we're going to Space France. Let's go, Space Cadets. Discovered by Gizmo Livray. Man, that really is the problem. Oh, I got a Chivo for destroying asteroids. Cool. Wasn't what I was going for, but cool. No, don't worry, Jamline, it's fine. It's fine. We've got our exosuit on. We don't have to actually physically touch Space France. These boots, they were made for walking. And that's just what they'll do. We've got all the protective gear necessary to survive contact with Space France. They say it's a paradise planet, but why does it look so charred? Guess we're about to find out. Let's get close. Let the textures render in here. Oh, wow. There's a rainbow. There's a double rainbow. So it really was just an optical illusion. It's a very quaint looking space. Little concerned by the fact that it's all water. I'm not trying to sink the ship here. So let's head back to orbit. Let's try to find a better place to land. I'm just seeing like islands, trying to peer through the atmosphere here, though you can't really see a great deal. Because sometimes these clouds start to look like land masses. Look at these, nothing but little islands. The question is, though, is that exposed copper that I'm seeing right there? Or is that just ground? Guess we're about to find out, huh? Touchdown, Space France. Armored clams, copper deposit. We can at least identify some copper deposits. Are they underwater, though? Armored clams. Armored clams. Yeah, this just looks like dirt. That was a bad read on my part. Sorry, space cadets. Oh, I'll pick up some dihydrogen while we're here. Waste not. We got skyworms, awesome. We do need some ferrite dust, so scan it and blast it. We got space balls. Bust some balls. Overheat my beam. Because I was too busy busting balls. Ain't that the worst?
Technology recharge.
Okay, let's find a surface level copper deposit. Like, look at that. That looks underwater. I don't think I'm rated for underwater. I don't know what that is. That's some sort of slinky snake. I want to assume he's friendly, but I really can't be sure. Alright, we've identified A copper source. Let's see if it can actually be mined. No, again, looks like it's under the water. And I can't land on the water, man. So that means it's on to the next locale. So this is what I like about the Corvettes, is I can step out of the cockpit without having to land, so that I can scan. Alright, looks like we're going back into atmosphere, so we can zip around the planet. Okay, so starting to understand that these specks are actually land masses. So let's see if we can't find a large one, or a decently sized one. Yeah, here we go, here we go. That's what we'd like to see, is exposed terrain. It still isn't that great. But we got a better chance of finding exposed copper here. We could have gone to any other planet. Why did we decide this was the planet? Space France has let us down yet again. Predictably. We should have known. We should have known. We'll just land here. Copper, copper, copper. Copper deposit, 3 hours away. Silver deposit, copper deposit, right up the hill. Awesome. Ooh, that actually does look a little tough to reach. Can you do better? Copper deposit, over there. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna have to fly for either of these. Our launch thrusters are not looking great. I would love for the Corvettes to get to a point where they've got like little hidden landing gear and stuff like that. Alright, let's bust some copper. Get me my chromatic metals that I need. Fall down a hill. Just Spaceman things. Just take a little tumble. Okay, copper, copper, copper. Paraffinium, no. Well, we know there's copper back the other way we came. Oh, there was a deposit right on the shore, was there? Oh, no, underwater. You fell for it again, Spaceman. Okay, that looks like a good spot. We're coming up on another ad break, it looks like. Maybe I can snooze some of this. We'll see once we land over there. We now have bingo launch fuel. I think we got a few canisters left in storage. Yes, indeed. There we go. Alright, let's snooze an ad real quick. Super duper. And we're back before the game crashes. Okay, now, question is, can we clear all this away while our ship is parked on top of it? That was a bad park job, Spaceman. Bad parking job indeed. But this is a rich vein. Okay. This is a mighty haul. To the point where, yes, we should repark the car. Repark the ship, reposition ever so slightly. So that we can get all of this. Bada bing, bada bam. Look at it all. Bit, bat, bam. Copper for days. We will not run out of copper, people. And try to do our best as a conservationist. Just make things look nice and tidy before we're done. I tried explaining that to other friends of the show who play, and they're just like, no, I just make a mess. I make a mess on purpose, even. Okay. Now, in order to make warp fuel, we need some antimatter. And to make some antimatter, we need some chromatic metal. Let's put some copper into this bad boy. So easy when you've actually got the raw resources. Who'da thunk? If we can make 2 of those, we might even be able to make bigger jumps. Ooh. Fancy. Alright, make ourselves some antimatter, make ourselves some warp cells.
Technology recharge.
Sick. Alright. Let's dip. We're done here. Goodbye, Space France. I never want to see you again. Now, this was such a rich system when it comes to copper resources. Not that I want to suspect we're ever going to be so resource shy that we'd have to come back here, but maybe we should park it at the space station. I kind of wonder, though, is every space station we're going to encounter on this expedition going to be abandoned? That would be an interesting way to go about it. An interesting challenge. Does also have this weird glitchy font around it like the last one did. I guess we're gonna find out. Coming into land. Oh, it looks nice and pristine. We love a little dodecahedron. Sorry, icosahedron. Me getting my Greek mixed up all of a sudden. It is another abandoned station. That's interesting. Alright. But that's good that we've landed. So that's gonna allow us to save. So that we can go back to the station to run another ad. My bad, guys, but we do have to run ads. So let's go to the desk. We'll go to the station, we'll go to the desk. We'll just dabba-dabba-da our way over here. Dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-da. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Take a break, you guys. Take it easy. Spaceman comes back in a few. We're gonna get this first set of Chivos done before we call it a night. So we'll rush through the rest of them. We should have a plan of attack for these next few. Don't go nowhere, because the Vector Spaceman show continues right after this. We'll be right back. Drink with me, guys. All right, everybody, drink some water with me. Glug, glug, glug. Excellent. Stretch with me, guys. Everybody take a stretch with me. Take a T pose with me. There we go. Yes, big stretch. Big stretch. Crack knuckles with me, Space Cadets. Here we go. Oh, yes. Keep limber. That's how you stay young and spry like a spaceman. Check your phone with me, Space Cadets. That's how you stay up to date like a spaceman. All right, what are we? We're still like an hour, a minute and a half before we're back. Yucks. And who are we going to go stream with tonight? Or who are we going to go raid with tonight? Now Palm's back from her weekend. So maybe we want to go see what's new there. Palm was actually at the TwitchCon. What a go-getter. Or we could raid the Game Grotto, or we could raid Corey. So many possibilities. We'll cross that bridge once we get there. In the meantime, we're like a minute out from our return. Stay frosty. Believe it or not, I think we've actually managed to not crash the game this time. This is perfect. All right, looks like we're almost back. Looks like we're back. Let's turn this off. Let's head back to the station. Dabba 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 da. We're going back to gaming. Here we are. Super duper. No! What did I just say? I just said we managed to avoid a crash, and this is what happens. OBS, why? You do me dirty every single time. That's why we save. Alright, load this bad boy up. Third time's a charm. Back into the breach expedition. Okay. We've got a new point of contact here. Worst comes to worst, we can always scoot back to this space station to planets that we know are plentiful. Hold on, why is it letting me summon the anomaly now? It wasn't letting me do that before. Is it just because I was outside the first system? Now I can do it? Now I can summon it whenever I want, wherever I want, for whatever reason, for any dumb reason in my head? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I've got my eye on you, Expedition. Alright, can we make a double jump? No, it's out of our range. It's out of our range! So we'll give it the old 1-2 punch. Here we go. Jump 1, initiated. Let's dock just for good measure. And here's where it tests my theory. So again, we've got a glitchy space station. Is this gonna be another abandoned one? This one actually looks like there was a chunk taken out of it. Oh, it sure is. It sure is. Red and dead. Alright, we just got one more jump before our destination. What's going on in these planets? Quartzite, quartzite. Irradiated moon. This one's called Florida. Humid planet. With salt and salvageable scrap. Kind of... wet. Yeah, that one's just called wet. But I'm kind of tempted to go to the... one of the salvageable scrap planets. Irradiated moon versus humid planet. Let's go to Florida. All right, we already went to freaking Space France. Let's go to Florida. Where's my way marker? Why is it over here? Show up properly. That's wet. That's not Florida. Is that Florida? Nope. So where is Florida? It's on the other side of this planet here. Or did I miss it? There it is. Florida. Because if there's salvageable scrap, then by golly we can get ourselves some Corvette pieces before we have to actually build our Corvette. Which is really going to help because we've got bingo money. So let's do a little salvage. A little legitimate salvage. Discovered by Tyler. Tyler from Florida. Also got high sentinel activity. Gotta worry about that, I guess. Gotta worry about not bugging the robots. Gonna try to get on the sunny side of the planet. To make seeing things a little easier, but apparently we skimmed into the atmosphere. Make a little adjustment to our flight path. Oh man. There's a lot of water on this world too. Fingers crossed we find something useful here. I don't want France and Florida to let us down. What a disaster that would be. God, there's no visibility here. Okay, here we go. We've got some sky islands. Very humid. Some skylands, if you will. All right, let's land this. Florida. Somebody's home. Tech module, salvage container. I ain't walking for 5 minutes just to pick up a piece of scrap. I'm gonna burn some launch fuel. And we are gonna pick that bad boy up. Let's go find what we're looking for here. There we go. By golly, that's efficient. Spaceman ship right there. Try not to get stuck in a tree. Where did my target go? I passed over it, now I've lost it. There we are. Where did you go? Where are you? Okay, I would love it for... There it is. Okay, stay on my screen. Jeez. There we go. Okay. Clear some of this junk off. Titan Heavy Booster. That's worth a pretty penny. And a rare item, nice. Cash for scrap. Arcadia stabilizers, love to see it. All right, give me another one. We're treasure hunting right now. Nothing nearby, we'll have to do some island hopping, I guess. Can't afford to do it too much. We will run out of fuel. How about this nice big piece of land over here? Nighttime already. We really didn't pick the right side of the planet, did we? Not to worry, though. Just park it nice and high. Let's see what we can find here. Nothing, nothing, still nothing. Aha! Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, all nice and packed together. Try to land right in the center of them. If and we can. And I suspect that we can. Like a glove. Okay, we got 3 containers to dig up. Let's start here. That's just a little one. Oh, never mind. We got 2. Okay. If nothing else, we're gonna get some cash. which will at least help us buy the pieces that we want to make a semi-decent vector space van. Really, we just need to build a functioning Corvette. That's all we really need. Ow, thought I had more fuel. Cargo pods. Osprey wings. And heavy linkages. Not the worst find. Okay, I think this will be the last one we dig up, and then we'll hit the stars again. Man, who would have thought that you could actually find something decent on Space, Florida? Okay, I fell down a hole. And knowing how these underground salvage containers work, this is probably not even going to be something that we can dig up. Let's find out. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Might be exposed enough for us. Protective casing 2 of 9. Okay, see. Oh, there is more. Okay. Oh, there is more. Okay. Let's go. This turned out to be a mighty fine haul. With another rare item. Alright, we are stuck in a hole, so... And there is a superheated rainstorm approaching. Geez, this really is Florida. So let's... call the ship in. What do you mean it can't land here? How about here? How about right there? There we go. Special delivery. Alright, let's get the freak out of here. This place sucks, never coming back to Space, Florida. Set us up the jump. Let's go. Zero stars. Would not recommend. Oh, hello. That's an interesting looking station. I really like that. Is this gonna be another abandoned one, though? It looks all busted up. It looks all red on the inside. Let's find out. Sure is. You know what, though? I might have been wrong. Maybe you can build Corvettes here, because I'm seeing the terminals for it. Yeah, okay. You just can't warp to them like you could at a regular station. So we can still build... how you say... Corvettes here. The rendezvous is off planet. Okay, I'm used to the rendezvous being in the station, because that's the only expedition I've done so far, was when it was in the station. So... maybe while we're here, we assemble a Corvette-class starship. Maybe we do that just for funsies. We'll move everything into the exosuit. We'll... Move that over. Ah, yeesh. Right? Yeesh. Alright, fare thee well, Soul Train. We gotta schlep our way all the way over to a Corvette building station. No, no, not yet. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna schlep our way all the way over to... the running. All the way over to a trade terminal, so that we can sell some of the garbage that we picked up. And by garbage, I mean great finds. Let's sell some water-stained valves, some sparking connectors, and look at that, bam, we've got over 1 milli credits. A space scooter? Yeah. Or, I don't know, let me do the punch and jetpack thing in a station. Let me horizontally glide in a station. That's all I want, man. Okay. Baller. Beauty. One little salvage mission, and we got close to 3 milli credits. That's gonna be more than enough for us to build ourselves a fine, decent Corvette. Ugh. Ugh. Gosh darn it, Spaceman. You're such a sucker for the gram. Thumbnails, let's go. Because I know I'm gonna have to make a YouTube video. Okay, as you were, Spaceman. We're gonna speed run one of these Chivos, make ourselves a nice, efficient, maybe even asymmetrical Corvette. Let's see if we can't trade for a cockpit. We don't need a deflector shield. Maybe we do. We don't need any speedbird cowling. All right, they don't want to make that trade. We don't need an Arcadia stabilizer. What's the matter, man? Make trade. I want to have to actually buy these. Ooh. All right, fine. We'll buy it. We'll buy a Thunderbird class cockpit. Sheesh. All right, and I guess we're gonna need landing gear. So I guess we'll buy some standard landing gear. And then we're gonna need a reactor. So unless we can trade for a reactor, though. Might have to sell some parts. Give me a Zenith class reactor, yeah? Listen, I like my odds at 3%. 4%, even better. How about 5%? Aw, man, couldn't even crit it. Alright, what else can I trade you here? Stabilizer? You want a stabilizer, maybe? Yes, there we go! 4% trade, we take those odds. Everything's coming up, Spaceman. Okay, that should be everything we need. Yeah, big dubs, big fat dubs. Listen, it ain't gonna be pretty, but we can build a spaceship. No, we can't because we don't have an access ramp. Shoot, Spaceman, you fool. Okay, access ramps, access ramps. Titan class access ramps. Don't have the money for it. Let's sell engine covers. Let's sell aerofoils. Let's sell cargo pods. Dome casing, we don't use those. I don't use those. I don't use these. Okay. Landing base, s'il vous plaît. Okay, as you were, Spaceman. Look at this. Cockpits. Ramp. One big fat thruster. And I literally do not think we have any... Oh, right. Reactor. There we go. Can I put the reactor on the side? Sure can. Can I put the reactor underneath over here? Might be able to make it work if I could glitch build a bit here, but I don't have any of the pieces for that right now, so we're just gonna sit it right on top where it belongs. And we have no pretty pieces. Oh, heavy links. There we go. Make it not look so jarring, I suppose. Right on. Right on, Spaceman. Mouse died. Give it a second. Mouse, come back to us. There we go. No weapon system installed. Oh, I forgot we need guns. All right. I have also noticed that you still can't remove the like standard pulse gun off of any Corvettes. Shame, really. Alright, the only thing we can straight up buy is a photon cannon. And we haven't even got the money for it. So we're gonna sell some more junk out of our trunk.
Product received.
And where can I stick some gun? Can I stick it on the underside? No, I cannot. So we're gonna put it right on the side right there. Unless I can stick it under the... Nope, can't put it under the engine. So yeah, a little asymmetry. There we go. One side's for flying, one side's for fighting. There we go. And we're gonna call this bad boy... What are we gonna call this boy? We're gonna call this the... It's got a very prominent engine on it, doesn't it? We're gonna call this... the NMS Expedient. There we go. And what do we want to supercharge here? Our maneuverability? No, let's supercharge our warp cell. Yeah. Hyperdrive, feed into that. Reorganize some of this stuff. Got a lot of tech slots here. Let's go. I like that. I like that a lot. What was I doing? Landing. Landing gear. Gun. Okay, good stuff. It's about as efficient as we can make it right now. And just for good measure, let's make sure that everything is super orange. There we go. Orange, orange, orange. What a looker. Not our best work, but really that's all we can afford right now. I did assemble a Corvette-class starship, so how come that hasn't triggered... that Chivo? Is that going to be a problem? Let's see what happens if we just take it out for a spin. Alright, because we have built a Corvette. Now, where is that first rendezvous? There we go. So we're going to see what's going on here. I'm curiously concerned about the problem with that Corvette Chivo. Because if we can't get that, then the whole thing might be a wash. Might have encountered bugs. Bugs! Glitches even. Shenanigans on a technical level. Alright, what does a planet-side rendezvous look like? Because I've only seen the one that shows up in a station. Ooh, look at all that lightning. Alright, we are coming in low. Looking for a building here? What are we looking for? Is it underground? What's going on here? Is it that thing right there? There's some sort of pylon here. Let's engage a little hover mode. Clock in the shift at the Sleep Factory. Good night, Jam. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing out. Hope you had a good time. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Look at the size of those space balls. Those are enormous. Oh, it's a plant. I thought it was way off in the distance. It is kind of off in the distance, but still. Those are mighty. 07s, big salutes. Have a great night. Well, we've raided a new, most toxic atmosphere. Awesome. Living fragments here. Awesome. Don't we love a little Atlantidium? Oh my god. Get out of here, Sentinel. Don't want it. Okay, where was... Oh, for crying out loud, there's more of them! I need to get back on the ship before these guys murk me. There we go. Thankfully, they don't know about me hiding in the ship. So where was the stupid thing? Somewhere over here? Target aligned. Alright, Sentinels are chilling. This is not what I thought it was.
Toxic protection falling.
Show me location. Where is rendezvous point? What am I looking for? Okay, that did not help. Apparently I'm getting closer.
Toxic protection.
Oh, what's this over here? Ow. Is it underground and I'm just not seeing it? Like, what's going on here?
Protection.
I'm gonna die from toxic exposure if I don't figure this out. Oh, hold on. Target in range. Location found. It was up here the whole time.
Toxic protection.
I do not have any toxic protection. Could I build an ion battery? No, because I got no
Toxic
cobalt.
damage detected.
Yep, I'm taking some damage. We never died on an expedition. We ain't gonna have it happen this time. There it is. It's a building. It was a whole building. Let me in.
Toxic damage detected.
It's still toxic up in here. We reached the first rendezvous. Let's ditch some goop. Wipe this slime away. User identified, terminal now active, unlocking log for analysis. Let's analyze some logs. It looked like a wound on the world, crimson and ragged edged, like something that once lived but was then torn asunder. I should have stayed away. Had I the senses to taste the air of this planet, I imagine it would have reeked with some kind of alien fetor. But nothing could stall my curiosity. Was it dead? Where I touched it, the surface was moist and yielding. It seemed to become motile then, crawling on a mat of slow cilia, moving from me. I should have left it alone. Let's analyze that log. I discovered something coded deep inside the long-dead traveler's data log. Something has been left that will aid me on my own journey. Let's go. We love being aided on our journeys. Thank God we got an ion battery. Hazard protect. Fixed damaged part.
Repaired.
I didn't realize that our stuff could get borked. I guess it makes sense, though. Alright, free nanites. Free here. Read encyclopedia. We learned the Gek word for Gek. Let's go. Little lizard men. Okay. Craftable components. Debris rangefinder. We do need a debris rangefinder. What's that? Sweet roots. Upgrade the exosuit. No, because we want to hold on to those, please and thank you. Alright, debris rangefinder. We need a solar mirror, quantum computer, metal plating. I've got all of those in the gear that we were going to bring with us. Which should be able to be grabbed at the anomaly. Which we can visit. Reward Corvette basic modules pack. Aha, okay. So maybe they really do want you to do these in order, despite the fact that we can do it out of order, man. Why did you even give us the option? Okay, we need a solar mirror, quantum computer, metal plating. Gold, silver, chromatic metal. I think the quickest way to go about this is just to get ourselves back to the ship, and then get ourselves to the anomaly.
Toxic protection. Falling.
And then use some of the gear that we brought with us. Alright, let's bug some sentinels on the way out. Later, skaters. Haha, that's right. I'm taking your junk. Ow, ow, ow.
Team recharge. Toxic protection.
Spaceman, you gotta stop provoking the robots. When has it ever gotten you anywhere? Alrighty, space. Anomaly time. Let's park it like it's hot. Let's see. We'll move this into cargo for the moment. We'll also install the Atlantid drive onto the starship. And what else can we do? Don't need a sentinel boundary map. Bust up some geodes. See, it'd be great if I could just boost sideways. Okay, so this is our first time trying to bring stuff in from the main save. So we know that we had 24 slots worth of stuff. We're just gonna move as much as we can out of here. That should be enough space, yeah? So we can create a copy of our old... We can create a copy of the space van. That would be super useful, actually. Let's bring over all of our junk. Man, sure wish I had all these microcomputers and junk like an hour ago. No need to get mad about it, Spaceman. What's done is done. Let's see if this works. We're gonna copy over the analyzer. Oh, it costs nanites. Okay. What does it cost to create a copy of the starship? More nanites. Okay, and we do not have that. It would be great to have a copy of the space van, but we cannot afford it. Alright, but we have got gear. And gear is sweet. So we need a solar mirror, quantum computer, metal plate. I didn't bring a solar mirror or a quantum computer? Man. Alright, well, we can make a solar mirror, we can make a quantum computer if we have some antimatter, so let's make some antimatter, we'll make a quantum computer. We need more chromatic metal. So we'll pull some out of our refiner. Now we can create it, so now we can make a debris range finder. And so now that we have acquired a debris rangefinder, surely that would allow us to get this Chivo. So why has this not triggered our latest Chivo? we now have a debris rangefinder. There we go. Okay. We had to give it a second. Just had to give it a second. You gotta give it a second, Spaceman. It's going to space, okay? Can you give it a second? Now let's move... Let's combine as much of our existing chemicals as we can. And we'll then move those back into Starship storage. Because I don't know how many ship parts this thing's gonna give us. I just want to have this stuff out of the way. Okay, Corvette Basic Modules Pack. And now it recognizes that we have built a Corvette. Okay. So they wanted us to do it in order. That's fine. We can accept that. Alright, can I... If we were at a proper station, we could store all this. Which means the last thing to do is search the wreckage of a lost Corvette. Thermal protection module. Do we really need 2 of them? Let's see what happened. We're gonna stay frosty. Maybe it gets cold in space. Maybe that's why. Alright, we're gonna scan for debris. Sweeping for wreck sites. We've got a refiner unit. We can probably put that in the ship, right? Yeah, installed along the wall of a Corvette hab. Okay. Which I think we should... Well, we've already got a personal refiner. Unless something in one of these Chivos is going to be, hey, craft a very particular 3-part recipe or something like that. I guess we'll find out. In the meantime, we can go install a portable refiner or a wall refiner for free. Who doesn't love a little refiner for free? We'll put you on this side of the wall. Thank you. Super duper. And we'll make sure that you are orange. Let's go. Let's hop back out into space and see if we can't... Okay, activate pulse drive to extend the search signal. So let's pop this thing into existence here. Oh, that is a mighty sizable planet. Poisonous planet. No, thank you. Let's go find ourselves a wrecked Corvette, huh? Sweeping for wrecks. Aw, yeah. Look at this. Guy must have hit an asteroid too quick. I love the way that looks. Obviously, it's sort of faked. But they're putting Corvette pieces over top of crashed ship pieces, and it kind of looks... Ow. kinda looks convincing. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, so what does it mean to search the wreckage of these, huh? While piloting a Corvette, leave the pilot's seat, operate the access way, and step into space. Okay. So, here's the real test. Is this going to yeet us into space? Like I've seen from some other people. No, it looks like we're good. Alright, we're exploring. Is there an access hatch on this thing? Usually I'd put mine at the back of the Corvette. Yeah, just like that. Maybe we gotta bust our way in? Hold on. Switch to first person view here. Nothing. Nothing. What's the Chivo here? Search the wreckage of a lost Corvette. Okay. I'm getting nothing. Operate hatch. Nothing. Activate the scanner to probe the wreckage. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Aha, so we can salvage certain parts. Ooh, we got an energy shield. And an oversized canister. We'd love an oversized canister. So don't get too close. Ooh, couple of thrusters, couple of new thrusters. Scanner is recharging. Is there another piece somewhere? I already blew that thing up. Search the wreckage for log fragments and salvageable items. Log fragments. Nothing here. What is that? That looks like a building on a far distant planet. That's not what I'm looking for. Life support's at 50%. I've still yet to find access. There are 2 access ways. I'm puzzled. Spaceman is challenged. Do I have to sweep the whole thing here? Do I have to get absolutely everything out of it? I've gotten some great finds. I'm quite pleased. Shields and canisters. Can't take it for a spin. So I'm perplexed. Alright, let's get back in our ship before we freeze to death. Just step back in for a moment, let our life support come back online. Okay, there's pieces of debris clipping through us. Awesome. Log, okay. Now we can actually see it. Why couldn't we see it before? Is it because we were in first-person view? Maybe I just missed it the whole time. There we go. Ooh, rare item. Log of the Fireship Arcadia. Captain found a on the last walk out, says it'll bring us luck. We'll need it. Cruise has been a waste so far. All the asteroids just dust and ice. Nonsense, but better than nothing. Cool. And there we go. Recovered a log from the Fireship Arcadia. Yeah, phase 1 done. Reward. Posters. Let's reward ourselves. By putting posters on the wall. Let's see here. Reward. Advanced mining, laser plans, and pre-packaged aquajets. Awesome. Advanced lasers. Aquajets. Oh, it's for the ship. Okay. So we can land on water, presumably? One might presume. I guess we'll find out.
Technology installed.
Wiring loom, don't mind if I do. Carbon nanotubes, we can build one of those, I'm sure. And hermetic seal. I bet we got the components for that. Let's see. Let's see. Hermetic seal, yes. Carbon nanotube. Need more carbon. Why don't we have carbon? We've got condensed carbon, so let's uncondense our carbon, why don't we? I think we just need 50? There we go. And there we have it. Multi-tool. Ready. With the advanced mining laser. Alright, let's slot that up here so we got the bonuses. Bonuses, bonuses. Sweet. Can't think there's much else that we need to do here then. Poster plans. Poster plans. Poster plans. So can I put posters on the wall? No, because I need carbon. Man. Man, and to be fair, these aren't great walls for putting posters up. So maybe when we redesign the Corvette, our Expedition Corvette, the NMS Expeditious. In that case, let's go park it like it's hot. Let's get out of this. Show me space station. Grab some gear on the way out. Ooh, a little platinum action. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Oh, this thing maneuvers so weird. So weird. Okay, I don't want to jet through the planet, thank you. Alright, that's just about it, you guys. We're just gonna park it, we're gonna save it, and then we're gonna come back on Friday for the rest of this expedition. That's the plan, at least. hot dog. I think that the station is right there. It was on the close side. It's just so small. That planet's just so enormous. All right, there we go. This station almost looks like one of those, like, what are they? They're like little virus bug diddly-doos. You know what I mean, those virus bug diddly-doos. All right. Touchdown. Our big, ugly ship. Super duper. Take a pic for posterity. Oh, that is ill lit. That sucks. So not right on the light, thank you. Try somewhere like here, Spaceman. Try somewhere like there. Yeah. Good picks. Good picks. Little negative space, in case we need to put some text. We get expeditious. Just like that. All Spaceman knows is 3-point framing. Alright. That means that that's it for some No Man's Sky tonight. Awesome! We can actually close down the game and not feel bad when it borks. Phase 1 of 2, 3, 4, 5. Phase 1 of 5, complete. We already kind of got a jump start on phase 2. If we're lucky, if we're a little enterprising, we may be able to just crush these out when we come back on Friday. Because tomorrow, of course, is the Jackbox with Friends game night over on Roshan Galaxy's show. Tune into that, it'll be fun. I guarantee it. Or at the very least, it will be humorous. As always, of course, we raid friends of the show. So let me set up the raid here. I'm almost positive we're gonna go say hi to Palm, who's probably telling stories about TwitchCon. Okay, get that nice and set up. Raid. Into Pomato Master, there we go. All set up and ready to raid. Space Cadets! This has been a pretty productive evening right here. That may be all for us tonight, you guys, but as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in wherever and whenever you are. We'll be back on Friday. We are live tomorrow on Roshan Galaxy's show. Check that out. We're going to be playing some games with friends of the show. Should be a blast, should be a ball, should be a banger of a time. We're back Friday, same time, same place, right here, Harbor Station, 8 p.m. Eastern, you guys. And until then, of course, no matter what life throws your way, good luck and Godspeed. This is Vector Spaceman signing off. Thanks for being here, Ghost. Thanks for being here, Jam. Thanks for being here, Rig and Soul and Eon and everybody who tuned in. You know, we appreciate you. Kieran, everybody who showed up. Don't want to forget nobody. You know, we never do. All right. Take care. Be well. Do your best. Enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you guys again real soon. Now stick around for that raid, because we're about to send you off for some more great content for your evening. Say hi to Palm. Tell her the Spaceman sent you. All right, you guys. So long. Take care. Sleep tight. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye. It didn't go. By which I mean bye-bye.